Welcome guys to Monday Muscle Meals, and today we're going to talk about the importance of post-nutrition meal. It's probably one of the most important meals that you can have because if you go in the gym, you can work out as hard as you want, but if you don't get the proper nutrients after your training, then you're going to be wasting your time. So this is just going to be a meal that I do once in a while. This isn't the only post-nutrition meal for you. But this meal basically is going to be consisted of protein, carbs, and very, very low fat. You don't want to have a lot of fat after your workout because what fat does is that it slows the digestion of protein. So you want to keep your fats very, very low. It's going to be protein, carbohydrates, and very low fat. Now, if you're someone who's struggling to lose weight, you may want to keep your carbs very, very low. So you're probably only going to need maybe 3/4 of a cup of white rice, maybe a little bit of potatoes, something like that. Now, if you're someone who really has trouble gaining weight, then you're probably going to want to have at least 2 cups of white rice. Today, I'm not going to use any carbs in my meal because I kind of blew it on the weekend. It was my daughter's birthday, so I had a lot of food that I probably shouldn't have eaten. So I'm just going to keep the carbs out of this meal. But I'm going to go ahead and get started and just show you guys exactly what it is that I eat. I actually just got out of the gym. So I'm going to start this meal, and actually one more thing, before you have your meal, you're going to want to have a protein shake first. So you want to make sure to get that protein shake between 30 and 60 minutes after your workout, and then after that is when you're going to have your whole food. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to show you how to make that meal. So here we were talking about, this is my protein shake that I have, and one thing you definitely want to do with this protein shake, you can see a little bit of the white stuff in there. I actually put leucine in there. Leucine is really great. It actually helps aid in releasing insulin. So this is definitely what you want to do when you, after you work out, you want to spike that insulin so that all the nutrients, the protein, and all the stuff that you eat after that gets shuttled into the muscle. So what we have today here, the meal that I'm going to make, is I've got this ground turkey, and it's 97% lean and 3% fat, so the fat is very, very low. So I'm probably just going to use half of this, and then I'm going to use some egg whites for some extra added protein. So I got all whites here, and I'm probably going to use about a cup. So that's what that looks like, about a cup of egg whites. And I'm going to throw a little bit of black beans in there and a little bit of chopped tomato. I think it's got oregano and basil flavor in there. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. And while I'm making this meal, I'm just going to be drinking my protein shake. So alright, so let's just get this all heated up here. So I'm going to use two, as you can see, I'm going to use 2 pans. I'm going to put the ground turkey in one pan, the egg whites in the other. So, you know, you probably want around medium heat, probably good. So we'll go ahead and just get the turkey open here. And I'm just going to use probably just about half of this is what I'm going to use. So we're just going to go ahead and grab half of this turkey here, and we're just going to put it in the pan. Maybe just a little bit more here. That's probably it. So we'll go ahead and get that in there like so. Now we're going to go ahead and do our egg whites here. And just remember, just 1 cup of that. It's perfect there. So we'll go ahead and put our egg whites in. Like that. And what we're going to do is we're just going to cook these separately. And then one ingredient I like to put in here, kind of gives it a really good flavor, is I like to put a little bit of cumin in there. So it's kind of like got that Spanish taste. So cumin's really good. I'm going to sprinkle some of that in there. Get this going here. Chop this up really, really good. Alright, as you can see, the egg whites are starting to get done here. And here's the meat. So that's starting to cook pretty good. So this egg whites is actually almost done. You'll probably find your egg whites will get done before everything else. That's okay. You just turn the stove off, let it sit until the ground beef gets done, or actually the ground turkey gets done. So there's the egg whites there. And turn the stove off, let that sit. it'll still stay pretty warm in the pan, so I'm going to go ahead and just toss this to the side here. And there's our ground beef. Looking pretty good here. I'm going to chop it up into little pieces. And you can add any seasoning you want. I mean, it doesn't have to be cumin, but maybe there's seasonings that you like oregano, basil, stuff like that. That'll actually taste pretty good. So actually, it's cooking up pretty fast. Get this all chopped up here. I don't make a mess. Well, that's looking pretty good. Now I'm going to go ahead and actually going to combine my egg whites. Just let me heat down a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and combine my egg whites in here. So as you can see, this is a lot of protein here. These egg whites, and I'll make sure to post the macronutrients in the description so you guys will know exactly how much protein, carbs, and fats are in all this. It's going to be very low carb for me today, but again, you can use 2 cups of rice with this if you're struggling to gain weight. If you're trying to lose weight, you can either cut the rice out or just have 3/4 of a cup, and you'll be fine. Alright, so now that's pretty cooked. Just going to turn that down a little bit, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to get our tomatoes. Get our tomatoes and our black beans. So I'll just grab a little spoon here. And add some black beans. And you could also, if you don't want to use tomatoes, you could use like salsa too. There's one ingredient that I forgot to buy that would be really good with this too. Is you can put some like Greek yogurt on top. I wouldn't cook the Greek yogurt in there, but it's something you want to put on top after it's done. Greek yogurt has a lot of protein in it as well, very low in fat and carbs. So we've got our black beans in there, and we'll mix that up really good. And you can see, after just using a half a thing of the turkey, it's actually quite a big meal here. I don't even know if I'll be able to eat all this. It's actually quite a bit. Now we're going to go ahead and get our tomatoes. So we got our chopped tomato. This was like a canned tomatoes that had like basil and oregano in it. So we're going to go ahead and put the tomatoes here. Sprinkle some of that in there. And you're just gonna, pretty much you're just gonna simmer the rest of this now. So the tomatoes don't really take long to cook, and the black beans don't either. You're pretty much just heating up the tomatoes and the black beans. Everything else you gotta kind of cook. So that looks pretty good. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and mix that up. We got that all going here. So this is actually going to be a pretty big meal. So just make sure that when after you have your protein shake, you don't want to eat right away after your protein shake. You want to let your protein shake to digest for about 30 to 60 minutes, and then you can go ahead and eat whole food. So that's about it for that. So we're just going to go ahead and put a lid on this. So if you can see that really well here. I've got the ground beef with cumin, tomato, black beans, and egg whites. I'm just going to cover that up. Let that simmer just a little bit. And that's it. So that's it, guys. That's the ground turkey post-workout meal that I have cooking there. I'm going to go ahead and get started and get eating it. And again, it was ground turkey, egg whites, black beans, and chopped tomatoes. Again, you can use different vegetables if you want, but I would definitely recommend the ground turkey because it's very lean meat. And it's low in fat. Not the only meal that you can have. You can have chicken, you can have fish with rice, chicken and potato. As long as it's protein, carbs, and very low fat. So that's the key. Keep the fats very, very low. fat is something you don't want to eat until the evening before bed, or if you saw my other video with the omelet, you can eat that in the morning. So that's where you want to eat your fats. But other than that, guys, that's it. This is one of the meals that's going to help you with the 180 Muscle Method. So make sure to check that out, 180musclemethod.com. Actually, it's 180muscle.com. And I will see you guys in the next video.